Hi, this is Don McAllister and welcome to another weekly tip video. Now, over the years, I've come to the conclusion that people either love or hate Twitter. I've been on Twitter for many years now and still rely on it to keep me up to date and sometimes to surprise me. So for this tip video, I thought I'd share with you how I use Twitter lists and threads to both assimilate information as well as keeping threads that I find valuable or interesting for future reference. I'll be doing the screencast on my iPhone, although of course you can do this both on the Mac and also on the iPad as well. The only reason for doing it on the iPhone is that there is an application called Threadit I'm going to use a little bit later on, and that does work best on the iPhone. But anyway, let's get started with lists. So if I go to Tweetbot, which is my Twitter client of choice, and open up Tweetbot, I have it installed, logged in, and I'm ready to go. Now, the first thing that you see is the main screen, and this is the Twitter timeline, and it shows all the current tweets from people that you follow. Now, of course, due to the nature of Twitter, as you start to follow more people, this becomes a fire hose of unlinked and seemingly random information and can quickly turn people off using Twitter itself. Now, if you're interested in specific topics or subjects, rather than following individuals, it's better to follow lists of people. And the great news is that many of the lists you may be interested in might already be available. You don't have to create them from scratch. So to access existing lists, find someone that you follow who tends to be fairly active on Twitter and may share your interests. Now, bear in mind, I'm not logged in as myself at the moment. I'm not logged in as Don McAllister. I'm logged on as an SEO demo user. So I've actually already followed Don McAllister within my Twitter account, and I can go ahead and have a look at the lists that are available through the Don McAllister account. So let me go ahead and click on my icon. And you'll see down here we have an option called Listed. If I go into Listed, there are two tabs here. The first is the Listed tab, which is selected by default. Now, these are other people, other Twitter accounts that have included my tweets in their lists. And because obviously I'm well involved in Apple-related stuff, people have added me to their Apple lists. So this first one here, Jeremy PB, has added me to his Apple list. If I click into there, and then if I scroll, you'll see there are lots of Apple-related people. There's me there going past, but Apple Insider, Good Notes, various other accounts. So if I wanted to access this list regularly, I could just go up to the top and say subscribe. And I'm now subscribed to that list. And we'll show you how to access the list you're subscribed to later. Let me just go back out to Listed. In fact, I find one of the most useful things is to have a look at the lists that the person has created. So again, we're in the Don McAllister account. If I click on Lists, you'll see these are the various lists that I've created in my other account. So I've got a list here for the Apple earnings calls. So when an Apple earnings call is going on, I just go into this list and I see lots of people who are involved in the Apple community who have an interest in the earnings calls and look at their tweets while the earnings call is going on. Another one here for one specific user, actually, this is Brian Romelli. Brian posts lots of very interesting tweets. So by having a separate list, if I miss any of his tweets in the timeline, I can always go back to this list and take a look. And as before, there is a subscribe button up in the top right-hand corner, but let's just come out and have a look at another list. So there's another one for crypto. So I'm interested in crypto. There's one for EV cars and technology. Let's go down and subscribe to the EVs list. Say subscribe. And we'll go back to the timeline. Now, to get to my lists, I do need to customize this. So what I'm going to do is just tap and hold on here and then select the list icon. Right, so these are lists. So the top two lists, Mac-related and podcasters, these are lists I've created. And if you go back to episode 608, where I've touched on lists before, but I also show you how to create lists in that show. But they're two that I've created. But the followed lists, well, the recently followed lists are at the top here. So I've got Don McAllister EVs and Jeremy PB Apple lists. So if I go to Don McAllister EVs, I can just click on here and I can see the list at this point and then just scroll to get up to date with everything about EVs. It's a very neat system, a good way to just hone in on a specific topic. And of course, up at the top, there is an unsubscribe button, which I can unsubscribe from, but I'm just going to go ahead and go back to my timeline. That's just a quick preview of one of this week's Apple-related tutorials from Screencasts Online. Screencasts Online is your premium source of Apple-related video tutorials. All of our members get access to brand new, up-to-date tutorials each week, as well as unlimited access to our entire video archive full of Mac and iOS-related tutorials. You can stream and download all of our videos on your Mac, iPad and iPhone, and even your Apple TV using the members-only Screencasts Online Apple TV app. Membership also includes a complimentary subscription to the digital Screencasts Online monthly magazine, published each month and packed with videos, articles, reviews, as well as hints and tips covering all aspects of the Mac, iPad, iPhone, and all of the other fantastic Apple products. So, if you're ready to start getting the most out of your Apple devices, visit screencastsonline.com today and become a Screencasts Online member.